Hi, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and the weekly track roundup is back. I apologize for the roundup kind of taking a bit of hiatus while I was gone on tour, but tour is over. I am back, making new videos, new weekly track roundups. Of course, before I get too deep into this one, I have to give a shout out to our sponsor, the good people over at SeatGeek. If you didn't know, SeatGeek is an app that aggregates tickets to live events from all over the web to make ticket buying simple. They put a 0 to 100 score on each ticket to let you know if you're getting a good deal or a bad one. Green is good, red is bad. And their in-app view from Seat lets you see where you're going to be sitting. Enter code DROP to get $20 off your first order. Click the link in the description below to download the app and, of course, take advantage of that $20 off deal. And, that's it. That's all I got to tell you guys. Our sweet-ass sponsor. The good people over at SeatGeek. Of course, also in the description is our Amazon and Turntable Lab associate links. You can hit up that Turntable Lab link to buy colorful pressings of records that we have reviewed on the channel, as well as, audio equipment, turntables, that sort of thing. We get kickback from it, supports the segment. And let's do it, the worst tracks of the week. The worst tracks of the week. That's my little new improvised song introduction to the worst tracks of the week. Okay, I hope you liked it. Let me know down in the comments what you would have rated it. Look at me. I'm looking a little less pale. I look like I got like a touch, just a dab of sun. Not so much so that I don't look like a ghost haunting the webcam at night, but still. All right. First off, this new Bad Religion track, The Kids Are Alt-Right. I enjoy a nice political punk rock song every once in a while, but the lyrics on this one are so corny, and the freaking vocal melody is just so painfully basic. I feature this in an effort to make a plea that I hope the younger generation sort of tries to pick up the torch on this whole political music thing just a little bit more and just tries to make something that's a bit better. But hey, the branding and the cover art and everything is genius. I'll say that much. But the song, unfortunately, is kind of underwhelming, boring, and very flaccid. Moving on from there, AP Ferg has a new couple of singles out, sort of loosey tracks that are easily a couple of his worst. The track Verified here that I'm featuring more prominently is probably his most obnoxious song in a while. I kind of get the clout posting thing that he's kind of going for with the lyrics and everything, but it's a really obnoxious track, seemingly centered around just being verified on Twitter, and so much more on top of it, but still, at the surface level, there's not a whole lot to it, and it's just a really annoying track. Again, there's another single he dropped along with it that is linked down there below. And also this new Alice Glass track, Mine, which is unfortunate because I've enjoyed much of what Alice has dropped as far as solo material thus far since leaving Crystal Castles. But unfortunately, this new track over here just kind of sounds like a very boring pastel goth piece of pop that almost like reeks of Grimes worship. There's not really much special about it in my opinion, but let's get into the tracks that I thought were meh, not terrible, not amazing, certainly worth pointing out, pointing in your direction. You might like them a little bit more than me. Let's go. First off, oh man, what is this mysteriousness over here? Oh, this must be the new Sun Kill Moon. Yes, Mark Kozlik does have a new project on the way, and the first track he has seen fit to release from it is a cover of the Partridge Family song "Come On Get Happy." Yeah, it's a goofy little cover. It didn't blow me away or anything like that, but it is interesting to kind of hear Mark in a slightly different context. What a happy-go-lucky guy. Next, Paul McCartney. Yes, Sir Paul McCartney, I believe is his proper title, has two new singles out titled I Don't Know and Come On To Me. The latter of the two has a very weird, awkward, and eyebrow-raising hook. I'll say that. But both of them, in and of themselves, are not really bad piano rock tunes. Good hooks. The vocal performances are pretty decent. The instrumentation is nice and organic. It wasn't all that exciting or anything, but, still some fun tunes that might grow on me a little bit if I hear them in the context of a better album. Let's see. Moving on from there, Marissa Nadler has a new track out, excuse me, titled For My Crimes. Not as lusciously arranged as a lot of the tracks on her last full-length album, but still a very pretty and haunting, very stripped, bare, and atmospheric piece of very dark folk music. Make sure to check that out. Also, Valee and Lil Yachty got together on this new track over here titled Wombo. It's kind of goofy, sort of a left field piece of pop trap. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Moving on from there, we have Knife Fights, and this song over here is titled Give You Game. It's out on Sub Pop Records, and this song features, of course, Palliser Lazaro, or Ishmael Butler, of frickin' Shabazz Palace's fame. And he's teaming up with one Mr. Eric Blood, I believe. And together, they're essentially embarking on this new musical duo project. This first song over here sort of sounds like a slightly more spacey, psychedelic, and strange and soulful take on the Shabazz Palace's sound. It's not a bad move. It's not a bad direction to go in. It doesn't sound entirely like what Ishmael was doing before. But not totally alien either. It's not a complete departure. If you like the kind of digital, trippy, otherworldly, experimental rap sound the Shabazz Palaces kind of built their name on, I think you'll at least sort of see where this track is coming from and get quite a bit from it, even if I think structurally and hook-wise it is a little lacking. Moving on from there, the new Dirty Projectors track over here, That's a Lifestyle, is not too bad. Didn't blow me away like some of the poppier tracks off of their greatest records, or even some of the more adventurous songs on their most experimental output way back in the day. But it does seem like a bit of a return to form, to the very angular, soulful, and virtuous guitar pop that Dirty Projectors are known for. Not quite the alternative R&B direction that David had the project's last record going in. It still kind of is a little disheartening to kind of hear Dirty Projectors stripped back personnel-wise, and not hear the voices that partially made the project so great to begin with, and it's just really kind of David being the main brain right now, and that's pretty much it. But still, it's not a bad cut. It's not a bad cut. The guitar work is great. Moving on from there, I'm also digging a little bit, just a touch, on this new Armand Hammer track over here. Of course, Billy Woods and Elucid are back as a duo with a nice piece of grimy underground hip-hop goodness with super esoteric, cryptic bars and a super dark, rough beat. And let's get into the tracks that I thought were the best, the tracks that really kind of won me over this week. First, Tony Molina, Kill the Lights. Very sweet and to-the-point acoustic cut with kind of like a 60s pop vibe to it a little bit that I liked quite a bit. Of course, given that it's Tony Molina, the song is like a minute long, and there's no telling how great it's going to be or where it's going to fit in terms of like power structure and appeal in his forthcoming project until you hear it back-to-back with all of the other incredibly short songs. So while this track was really pretty, I'm still kind of holding out full judgment until I hear this entire album. Moving on from there, this new what is this again? Rome Fortune track, Hoodrich Disco, with production from Toro y Moi, is a really great experimental, futuristic piece of like what sounded like, I don't know, a blend of hip hop, funk, and house music. Really love what Chaz was able to do on the beat with this thing, and the lead vocals are great as well. Lots of personality on this track. And I don't know, hopefully these two work together more in the future, because this was a great frickin' single. Super fun, and one of the more eclectic tracks I've heard in a while in this particular genre, this blend of hip-hop and dance music. Moving on from there, DJ Muggs of Cypress Hill fame, of course, and MF Doom land on a new teaser track, which I guess is going to be slated to be on a record, or at least like a series of projects that Muggs is working on that I guess are going to tell like a story for like certain spans of time with certain rappers that he's working closely with. Like, I read a lot of details on it, but none of them seem to sort of, I guess, tell from front to back the entirety of the concept of this forthcoming record. But if he's pulling names like Doom and he's bringing tracks that are this quality, then certainly it's worth being excited for. The track that I'm talking about over here is titled Death Wish, I believe. Just double checking on that. Yes, Death Wish, and it features Freddie Gibbs. And Freddie's bars are pretty cool. So are Doom's. The beat is very dark, murky, and low key, but it only highlights the quality lyricism that Freddie and Doom bring to the table. Next, moving on from there. Digging on this new Mitski track, which is great because I've never really been super huge on her music previously, but this ballad was just too emotionally heavy and potent to not kind of win me over. And also, like, her vocals are starting to warm up to me a little bit as well. Not that I thought they were terrible before, but I don't know. She just has this wonderful womanly voice that's really kind of appealing to me right now at this moment. Next, LIZZO, new single out titled Boys, which from what I've heard, Little Aaron had like a hand in writing or sort of creating or whatever, if you're a fan of him. It's a banger. Banger alert. Whoop, 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 whoop. Banger alert over here, guys. Whoop, 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 whoop. Banger. It's a very fun, sensual, lusty track with a real sex drive and a quirky instrumental. Nice kind of house vibe in the beat, too. Kind of reminded me of like a smarter, cooler, and improved and more thoughtful version of like, I don't know, like Azealia Banks 212 or something like that, crossed with something else as well. Almost had like a bit of an LCD sound system vibe, I'd say, as well, and like some of the vocals and the instrumental too. It's fucking awesome. Moving on from there, Iglooghost has like 2 small, short sister projects coming out very soon. He has seen fit to release a song from one of them titled Niteracer. And given that it is Iglooghost, you know that the production is absolutely insane. It's like watching anime on way too much acid. It's amazing. Moving on from there, IDK has a new single out. I guess from what he says, he's taken the XXL freshman 10th spot. He's taken it. I don't know how legitimate that is, but he's come out with a track titled it's titled like the Trippie Red Freestyle or whatever. So again, but it doesn't seem like to be an overt diss or anything like that. It seems like he's kind of clowning the whole situation, but still, I kind of love that this is kind of, you know, in my opinion, this is a true artist's response to this whole shit. You know what I mean? Because IDK easily deserved one of the main spots on this whole XXL thing. And he really kind of came through with a great beat, great energy, awesome bars, and pretty much exemplifies why he's going to have a pretty long shelf life going forward. You know, I think IDK has a serious future. It's all going to depend on whether or not his next project really kind of like sees him separating himself from his very clear and very contemporary influences. But with tracks like this, he's clearly displaying that he's on the way to doing that. So I'm pretty excited for what this dude has coming down the pipe. Maybe more than that of some of the people who actually made it onto, you know, the main 9XXL list. Moving on from there, CupcakKe is back with a song titled Hot Pockets. It's a banger. Banger alert. Banger. It's a banger. It's fucking awesome, and I'm really happy to hear CupcakKe finally, you know, between this and her past couple of singles, landing on production that actually like fits and enhances her very quirky, weird, out there, and unique personality. That is awesome. That is amazing, and it's only making her music even tastier. And I think this might be the last one. No, we got a couple more. But this is Code Orange over here. They have a new EP out. They've seen fit to release a few tracks. 3 Knives and The Hunt, featuring Corey Taylor of Slipknot fame, are 2 incredibly heavy, punishing, amazing songs that see the band getting even more ambitious when it comes to detail and experimental, weird, out there sounds in their production. I'm actually like so fucking excited for this band's future because they just seem to be continually just breaking down boundaries in the metal genre, and are just like trying a lot of things and taking a lot of risks, artistic risks that a lot of other bands out there aren't, and in the process still making very catchy, engaging, interesting music. Not like too out there or I guess alien or experimental for your average metal fan to appreciate. And the Corey Taylor feature is great. And I want to shout out Charli XCX. She dropped 2 new tracks, one Focus, one No Angel. The track Focus was a little repetitive and underwhelming to me. Kind of didn't really have as much structure as I would have liked. It just seemed like very flat and one note. However, the what I guess is the B side to that song, No Angel, is the true hit here, in my opinion. Had a fantastic instrumental, great energy, more interesting vocal line. Given that it's Charli XCX, you're talking about very cutting edge, futuristic, and weirdo pop music. Something that sounds almost like a playful bastardization of what you typically hear in the top 40. Although I will say these 2 tracks over here, not 2 of her weirdest, but still very enjoyable. And Charli just continues to kill it for the most part. And, I want to shout out also Ariana Grande. I know this track came out a little while ago, but I wanted to sort of trip back and talk about it because I do think it is so good. It's this new collaborative single that she has that's going to be on her forthcoming record, features Nicki Minaj. It's titled The Light Is Coming, and it actually features production from Pharrell. Nicki's attitude right at the front, Ariana's very deep, womanly voice, powerful singing voice, and Pharrell's production just come together into a fucking firework, man. It's just a great single. Obviously, given that Pharrell and Nicki are not going to be on every track, and Ariana herself can be a little inconsistent as far as like songwriting quality on her tracks, who the hell knows if the rest of the record is going to be this good, but I can at least say, like, this song is fantastic. If you hear no other song on this forthcoming record, at least make it this one. This one was very fun, very creative, and for a pop artist of Ariana's stature, and I get, given that it's Pharrell, he kind of gets a pass anywhere that he goes, but still, for an artist of Ariana Grande's, the cloth that she is cut from, this is a pretty weird cut. It's a pretty odd, freaky cut, and I like that, like it quite a bit. All right, I think I'm just about done sweating my ass off in front of you guys. Excuse the undershirt over here, but it's hot. It's hot out, okay? It's hot. It's hot in here. It's hot outside. It's humid. Just let me live, okay? Again, you're the best, and once more, shout out to the good people over at SeatGeek for sponsoring this segment and many other weekly track roundups. Also, our Amazon and Turntable Lab associate links are down there in the description again, and you're the best. Love you guys. I will see you in the next video. Anthony Fantano, music, 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 forever